So I have a Lego claw machine here. I use the old NXT, which at this point barely works. And I also use power functions over here. And I've always wanted to, color coordinate this, but obviously it's super expensive. So I would also want to get an upgraded version of this, but Lego no longer sells it. So I had to get it through a third party. So I actually recently bought that, and what I did was I sold a couple of my Lego sets that I have in my closet. Just recently cleared out a little bit of space. But with that being said, the plan right now is once this EV3 comes in, which is just the next version of this, I'm gonna see what I can do to program it, see if it's even plausible to make a claw machine without the power functions. That's the goal. Obviously I do want it to be bigger, so part of the reason I can't use power functions in that is because these cords are so short, so that's why this barely even has any movement to it. But I made a little bit of money already, so hoping to order custom parts, and I'm actually clearing out some space to put this thing up. Hopefully the plan is to use wood as the base for it. Obviously it'd be kind of a waste of money to use Legos from the ground up. So we'll do wood to about like right here, kind of a little higher than where this is right now. So yeah, tune in for part 2. All right, so what we've got here is the brand new EV3. I have 2 motors with it. Two of the large motors. Here's one of the medium motors. And then it came with the light sensor. And I'm not really sure. Oh, this is a button. There's 2 buttons, I believe. Yeah, here's the other button. So 2 buttons, and then I'm not really sure what this is exactly, but comes with a couple of other parts that may be useful. Some gears, and obviously all these cords, which these cords are definitely, I'm gonna need to get longer ones, as this is definitely not long enough. So next step will be kind of laying out the base and seeing if I can program what I want to program onto this, or if I'll need another EV3 brick. So we'll see about that. All right, so I got the dimensions of how big it's going to be. We got this right here to sand it, and this is going to be the base that I'm going to put it on top of. And then last step will be to build it up from the ground, but I want to build it the Lego stuff on top of here, so I can build it from the ground, and I'm not building it up from like a giant table and then having to stand on a chair to finish the top. So doing this first, and then I'm gonna glue the base plates on top of here. All right, so we've got the paint coat on, and I didn't paint the middle just because I'm gonna put the plates directly on top of this. So really only these edges are what are gonna be showing. So tomorrow we're gonna glue down the base plates, let that dry for about a day, and then the pieces are supposed to come in the next day. So I'll keep you guys posted. So we cut out these half plates by using the rest of this one, but these 2 blue plates, and cut them in half, and I'm going to use them kind of for the controls. So I've got 6 white plates that go on here, and these 3 blue plates are going to be on here in the front, and the actual like claw is going to be behind here. So this will be where I have like the coin, the controls, the button to press it down. So I'll keep you guys posted. So the paint is dry, and we drew on with pencil where the prize chute's gonna go, because it's gonna go underneath this box into the structure that we're gonna build out of wood. So it's gonna be about 1.5 plates on here, and it's gonna be directly in the middle of the, I guess, plate after the halfway. So if I were to take this off, that's right where it is. And then we've got it marked on the bottom as well. Let me see if I can get this up. To get cut out, and later today the pieces should be coming in, so we're going to glue these down and then I'll start building once it's dry. So I'm gonna fill you guys in as we're working through this right now. This is where the coins are gonna be going. So I just designed a simple mechanism right here where there's a hole that this can go into, which will turn a worm gear underneath there, which is only filled up by that axle in there halfway up, just so that this can fit in there, but also so that's locked in place. That turns this gear right here, this gray one, which is attached to the first tan one right here, and the second tan one will get turned, which is attached to that black gear, which will push this gear rack out. Now, because there's a big gear ratio in here because of that gear rack, because of that worm gear, this goes pretty slow. But the big perk of having a worm gear is that this is completely locked in. I can't move this at all without moving the worm gear. So when this goes in and you move the worm gear, it'll slowly bring this out. And this will just be where I collect the coins. So I don't want anyone taking them, obviously, so this will be the mechanism I use. As for the nickel goes in, comes right out. The quarter though fits along that platform and will fall into there, which I showed earlier is the box that holds the money. This is a light sensor that is right above where the coin drops. So as the coin slides past it, this has a red light on, and it also has a sensor that senses when the light is reflected back at it. And it's really helpful that I'm using coins that are reflective, so reflects it right back into there and it'll start the program. So the program won't start without this happening. And then basically for the walls, I'm just using a bunch of these bricks, and then started with the 2x4s, which is basically just 2 of these bricks together in one brick. Started the ground with that just to have more stability, and once I noticed as I was building up that these were kind of getting a little flimsy, I added in 2x4s in the middle just to kind of hold it together, and that's provided a lot more support. This piece right here kind of comes off, but once I actually get the glass, I can attach this side to this side, and that should be a lot better. So the next step is kind of just going to be building this thing up. As for the controls and everything, that'll probably be in the later steps once I know how much space I have and need. I'll also need other EV3 brick that will control the motors, and then once I get that, we'll have enough ports for 5 motors, which can control the claw is one of them, deploying the claw is one of them, and I need 2 for the front and back, and then 1 for the side to side. So that's why we need the extra one. But once that comes, I will order longer cords that'll wrap around the back of the machine just so that everything can move. and has enough, you know, of a pull for it to not get pulled. As the claw moves back, it'll go back, it won't get yanked by the cords. So the cords will be long enough, they'll kind of hang out the back. But that's where we're at right now. So next time I take a video, it will probably be either the walls being a lot higher or I'll be starting on mechanics. All right, so I've done a lot since the last video, but I'm gonna catch everybody up. So first of all, we've got the coin mechanism here. Take this off so I can show the inside. Okay. Alright, so the reason I needed 2 hands for that was because I need to get the wire through there. So the wire will feed through there. Once I get longer cords, I'm going to wrap it around back right here and into here where the brick is in. I can just take this off as well, but there's the brick that controls everything. This is just a normal box that's got holes there and holes there for the ports that the motors and the sensors come out of. This goes right on top of here, and this is actually held up by little beams that go across, because this is not a roof, this is actually like a wall type of thing. And I put these little things in here that push the buttons on there on the actual brick, and that's what will control the forward and back and the left and right. And then this button right here is what controls when the claw drops, which is going to just punch right into there. So when this lays on top of here, you can kind of hear, this will be the directional buttons, and they just kind of hang out like this. They won't come out, but they just bounce. And then this is the actual button, which doesn't need to be pressed that heavy. So as for the coins, this is where the coins go in, and the path that they go down leads to a little square box that can only fit a quarter. So when a dime, I can't even see, I'm looking at the camera, when a dime goes in there, slides out using that hole, it just throws it out down the platform. Penny will do the same thing, and then a nickel. Okay, so this is day 3. I've got it just about 50 studs high. This is probably about, this is definitely a little over halfway with where I'm gonna have it end up being. So yesterday I built the beams that are gonna go across, that the gears are gonna go along. So there's a bunch of gear racks on here. That'll be for the movement. So go right here. And then I put in this piece right here. This is just another long beam that I attached. Basically just like one of those, but just in the back here so that I can have some more stability. Yeah, and then this is gonna be a long piece that goes across right here. So I'm waiting until I get it high enough. I'm gonna place that in there. And then right now, this is the side to side and front and back movement. On here, we've got a motor attached to these 2 gears, and it's locked in underneath. So this will just be moving side to side. And then there are motors on each side right here. This gear is just static by itself, so it won't really do anything other than just moving as this one moves it. Same thing over here. It's that one, and then a double gear right here. So I'm going to hopefully get the cables for all this stuff. Obviously these cables are not long enough. Hopefully I'll be getting those cables pretty soon. Ordered them yesterday, so hopefully they'll come in the next 2 days, and then I'll be able to start going into the advanced programming stuff. So I actually skipped a little bit of when I was kind of adding everything together, but I will fill in from where I was last time. So last time I really just had the frame, but I had all the pieces ready, the claw was ready, and these beams that are in here were ready. So essentially what we have here, I put in those long beams with these teeth right here. I put them on each side, and then this piece fits perfectly across. So that's how the movement front and back goes, and then side to side is used with this motor right here. I also put in a beam that goes across here that was, 4 or 5 studs thick, and that was just so that there wasn't like a bend in the middle as it's sitting up like this. And underneath there are some little holes in there. Oh, I guess there's a long hole that goes across. Same thing in there, and that's where the plexiglass is gonna go. And as for all of these wires, they are all connected inside here to the main brick. And this brick is also attached by a USB cable to the one over here. Now this brick controls the side to side and front and back movement, and the claw squeezing. That just controls the up and down, which is just a pulley system using a string. And then I put one of these pieces right here, if you can see that. I sent the string through there, and that's just to keep it in the middle so it doesn't get wound up. And this string is basically just tied around a little beam that goes across cylinder beam so that it spins. And then that's pretty much it for now. I made the prize chute door, which will go like somewhere down here once I get the wood platform. So the next step is going to be to get the plexiglass, and then I'm also going to use whether it be cardboard or whatever to put on the back of these walls, and then I'm going to put some sort of mirror type paper on top of it so that it'll look like there's mirrors on the inside of the claw, and that'll make it appear a lot bigger. So that'll also cover up some of these cords that are here, which I've kind of wrapped around strategically so that they don't get in the way, but it's still kind of not so pretty. And this beam across here, I made it 1 brick thick just so that it's a little bit flexible. That just holds up this wire right here, which is attached to the side-to-side movement, and because it's got to cover so much ground, it moves that way along there smoothly. So the next thing I have, I will update again, but so far this is what we've got, and it is fully functional. So it'll really just end up being some minor tweaks and filling out the rest of the aesthetic part.